Definitely, all the time. How you doing, Mr. Zekinator? It's been a couple shows that.
It's
Sorry,
been a couple
guys, but we're
shows.
back in time here. Ready to rock and roll, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, before we get started, I just want to give a little promo. We're going to have my good friend Jeremiah Kota on here during the show a little bit later, and if you've been watching the sites, especially my Facebook post, he is part of the Phoenix Union School Board there in Phoenix, obviously, and was trying to say a prayer and was stopped. And that's why we're going to get into that because it seems like there's almost a little bit too much of that going on. Wouldn't you agree, Zeke?
Yeah, it's definitely some kind of plan. I think a lot of stuff that these guys are doing, especially in the cities where they have a lot of power and control still, like every city for the most part nationwide is still blue. And they're acting as if Kamala Harris would have won. They're still going through with more control, more just giving money out to everybody else but the people. Like it just, and then getting rid of prayer, changing names to monuments. That's going on up there in Taos. They're getting rid of another Spanish named park. So it's just
More history.
yeah.
Erase history little by little.
And that old way of system of doing things, where you can just sell out your country and then get paid tons of money for selling out and just being a communist it's dying. I get it, guys. You Democrats, you want to get rich quick, you want to sell out, and you don't really care about America. You just care about yourself, and I can understand why you'd want to do that. But what you got to understand is that way of doing things is dying, and it's an ancient way of doing things. It's been going on in America for a very long time. There's a reason why they're able to do stuff like that. What they did to your friend over there in Arizona, in Phoenix, where they say, "Hey, well, you want to pray? Well, we're going to throw that prayer out." That took centuries to get to a point of governmental control where they can throw prayer out.
And he's going to fight it, so you'll hear all about
Yeah, I
that.
can't wait to talk to him.
The scary thing is, though, in a big city, our largest city in the whole United States, New York, right?
Right.
There's a guy getting ready to run, and he's leading in a race of 4. He's got 35%. That Kami Mamdami, whatever. his
Oh
name
yeah,
is.
Mahadi.
And
Yeah.
that is freaky, pretty freaky.
Yeah, I hear conflicting things. I hear that he's doing terrible in the polls. Like he's really unfavored. A lot of Democrats don't like him, and obviously conservatives don't like him. So, I've heard conflicting polls that he's doing well.
Good.
He's
I'm
not
glad you
doing
have.
good. Yeah, I heard today that he's not doing good at all. And they're going to investigate him because he's gotten a lot of money from George Soros apparently. And so did the Democrats who fled Texas. That was all Beto O'Rourke and George Soros money. So look, it's different now. Times are changing. You can't just get away with this stuff anymore, guys. You just can't. If you're going to get out of the Democrat Party and just, if you can still get out now. Because it's going to, they're predicting, I heard this today, they're predicting by 2028, the Democrat Party will be gone, completely gone.
2028, which seems like a far away, long way, but it's not.
You sound like
It'll
Trump,
come really
far
fast.
away.
Far away. Far away. I wish I could do a Trump impression.
That was a good one. That was good.
But you're so right. It's really true. So we have plenty to talk about. We could kind of stay local and then work our way into. Here's a really local story I do want to talk. I snatched this up. Remember, I think it was even the last time we were on, maybe. The Las Cruces Police Department, and kudos to them, they decided to go to a very busy intersection of our city, and they issued something like 47 citations within a lunch hour. So they did it again. Did
Yeah,
you
heard
see
about
this?
that. Heard about that.
Yeah. So this time, I think it was 75 minutes, and it was on North Main, which is probably as busy. I don't know, maybe not as busy. But this time, it was 86 traffic citations.
Usually, I'm one of the guys they get.
Didn't get you this time.
Didn't get me this time.
Good.
I've been
good.
driving. I've been a good boy lately.
You've been a good boy. 50 were issued to motorists who were driving in excess of the posted limit, 18 for driving with no proof of vehicle registration. Now, I like these because I think they had motorcycle cops too, somebody told me.
Right.
These are not the biggest crime in the world, maybe, speeding and doing this, but people do it in our city. These are signals. There's a lot of people that don't do, you think they're kind of minor things, but they all add up. And if you know you're not going to get caught, then you tend to break the law, most people. So this is really important. I just want to give a shout out to our Las Cruces Police Department Chief Story. Way to go, dude. Way to go.
Yeah, I'm really surprised he's even in there. I mean, most law enforcement in New Mexico is very corrupt. I mean, I saw an article recently too where the mayor and the chief of police were trafficking drugs. I mean, I'm sorry, they were trafficking guns and drugs across the border, and some of the guns they got caught murdering people down in Mexico too. So
Wow.
I forgot what county or city that was, but it was in New Mexico.
That was in New Mexico.
For
You know
sure,
what?
yeah,
I
yeah.
might,
Shout out to Don Musser. He sent me that article.
I might have that story because you know how what I do is I try to save the stories.
It's a quick way to get rich for these Democrats. I get it, you know. I mean, but that way's going away. They're setting precedent now nationally. The bars. We're talking about Barr. What's his first name?
William Barr.
Bill Barr.
Bill Barr.
He's under investigation. A lot of these guys are under investigation for treason, Obama treason, all that. They're setting precedents for this. So they're going to take this same organization that they got now. They've got $1 billion in funding, a whole bunch of people to go after weaponized government. So when they start prosecuting these higher ups, they're going to take that and start prosecuting people on the local level too. So that way is all done, guys. You just get away from that now if you can.
That story about Bill Barr, of course, that doesn't surprise me about him. But he's paired with the whistleblower. I saw that video on YouTube. He's paired with Armstrong Williams.
That was wild, huh?
That was blowing my mind because, of course, I think Armstrong Williams used to even substitute for Rush Limbaugh.
That's
Strong,
crazy.
black conservative, very, very smart. I used to love to listen to him when he was on, and it just goes to show they were doing a fraudulent scheme together about what was it about? Oh gosh, now it was about immigration, wasn't it?
There was immigration.
Illegal
They were in
immigration
all
was
kinds
in
of
there.
shady stuff. Jan 6. They were just plotting to destroy MAGA Republicans. That a big hit list. General Flynn was on there. Roger Stone, Alex Jones, all the typical guys that you can think of. A couple of congressmen as well. But look, Democrat Party's gonna be gone. Look in Texas. They're looking to get rid of 10 Democrat congressional seats right now, 8 to 10. Okay, if they don't go back immediately, I think today was the deadline. If they're not back by today, the governor is going to get rid of 10 of those seats and put them up for grabs and gerrymander them in favor of the Republicans.
I mean, what do you think they should do? Seriously, I mean, the one thing about the Democrats, they're strategizing all the time, and I say, do your job. My gosh, they swore to uphold that office and be there, and they're not.
Well, they're such hypocrites. They've been hammering us on the gerrymandering, and we take it on the chin all the time. Biden stole the election. That's all public record now. It's coming out. They're investigating that too. We took it on the chin. We didn't do anything violent. We didn't call for violence. In fact, we did the opposite. We prayed for peace. And when they gerrymandered, we couldn't do anything about that either. We didn't get crazy or anything. We just let it happen. So anytime we do back to them what they do to us, they flip out. They can't handle it. That's just such hypocritical. And I say hammer them because you know what? They've been hammering us for decades. So it's our turn now. Finally, this has been a centuries-old battle, guys, and we're barely finally starting to gain some headway on these guys.
There is so much to do, but I'm with you. And then kind of let the chips fall where they may, chips and salsa chips, wherever they may. Because if you are guilty of wrongdoing, then you need to pay the consequences.
Yeah.
That's what makes our country better and freer. There is rule of law, and we try to adhere to it. When we don't, that's when we get in trouble, and that's why we're in trouble now, just like you're saying.
Yeah, we got to prosecute wrongdoing. We got to go after criminals, guys, because it's just we don't want to be in a country where crime isn't enforced, and it hasn't been enforced. Look at Hillary Clinton got away with basically bloody murder. I'm just saying that as a catchphrase, or I mean,
Yeah,
not
we won't go
hypothetically.
any further.
I'm not accusing her of actually murder. Well, who knows? There's a Clinton body count, but that's up to you to interpret whatever you think about that. And her head of charity got in trouble for trafficking children. That's on Laura Silsby. That's on record. She
Saw that.
She got in trouble for that. So she's not a good person, and she's gonna get away with it. I wish Trump would have locked her up like the way he said he was gonna do before he won his 2016 election. But hey, guys, this is a powerful deep state. We're up against pure evil. And it's just so refreshing, is it not, Alice? It's so refreshing to see us kind of start getting some headway here.
Something at least. And Trump, somebody was talking about that, and he said that he had said, well, it would be really difficult when he was in last term to go after a former president's wife. And I get that. I really do get that.
Yeah.
And then, I'm trying to put my head in his and Bondi and all those guys. There is so much to be done. And how do you prioritize? And then, maybe we can go after this person and do this. And it's so complicated because there's so much. It's like it's almost that way on purpose. Very strange.
Yeah, it's like a swarm flood effect where they just swarm you and flood you with so much evil you can't do anything about it. And it's starting to get normalized. And it's normalized here in Las Cruces. Guys, there's so many things that they do wrong here with our elections, the way they do ordinances. Like they just got rid of the prayer here, just like they did in Phoenix. You know, so can we call him? Can we call him now?
Well, yeah, we'll call him.
Let's give him a call because I
And,
want to talk to him about that because that really just it pisses me off because prayer, God is a fundamental part of our country and our laws and just our overall morality. And when these guys, these communists, are trying to get rid of prayer, trying to change names of our historical monuments, it's really just a slap in the face. And they don't care. They love it. They laugh at it.
Well, and that's what intrigued me. I saw the Jeremiah story. And I said, hey, Jeremiah, hang tight. Thank you so much. We got you live on.
2 minutes.
That's fine. You go ahead and we'll set up everything.
No,
You
that's
just-
great.
You just come on when you're ready, okay? I'm going to keep you
Okay.
on speaker.
So what's
All right. You want to call me right back? You want to call me right back?
Yeah, I'll call you right
Okay.
back.
That's good. We'll set up the story.
Okay. All right,
Thanks.
thank
You
you.
bet.
All righty.
You bet.
so what's interesting to me is they got rid of. We'll call him back here shortly, or he's gonna call us back.
Yeah.
Is the county commission's been it's very strong here, Democrat, hardcore far lefties guys. The county commission here is hardcore. I think there was one dissenting voice, right?
My commissioner, kudos to her, Susana
Yeah.
Chaparro, excuse me, did vote in favor, and at least that was one person. But,
Yeah, but
she even told me that she had checked with some, because she was a judge before, a magistrate,
Yeah.
and there's a constitutional question there. I mean,
course
I don't-
there
you
is.
know, which of course we know.
I did minimal research, and I was like, okay, there's a lot of. I mean, if you really wanted to push a lawsuit, you could, because the way I interpreted it was that they have a duty to go out of their way to make sure that all other religions were invited to give prayer, invocations. That's it. There is no whether we should do it or not. It was their only duty as county commissioners is to make sure that everyone feels welcome and is invited to try to pray, whatever religion. No discrimination against religion, and anyone who's doing invocation prayer, they can't be bashing other religions, and they can't be proselytizing, meaning they can't be encouraging
Right.
for them to come to theirs.
This is the only religion.
Yeah, yeah, and that's easy to do. You know, you're just giving a prayer to God. It's in God we trust. It's a universal thing. Whatever God you got, we'll pray to that. You know.
And this had come a few months before they were trying to do that. And just get to listen to my ringtone. Jeremiah, are you there, buddy? Are you there?
I am here.
Great. Okay. They were kind of doing this very old school, so I'm just holding up the speaker to the microphone, so that's why I'm doing this. You see it, but I want to intro you just a little bit. Then I'm going to give you so you can give your 30-second bio. Jeremiah Cota and I did a lot of political stuff back when I was in Phoenix. In fact, I think we served on our district together. I think I was secretary. You were like the second vice chair, first vice chair, or something. But anyways, what I can tell you about, I have much respect for this young man. You know, there are Republicans that are under 50 and 40, believe it or not, and Jeremiah is one of them. So you have a great background, and we were just explaining to the audience, the reason that we're having you on is you are part of a school board now, and you tried to do a prayer, and you were not allowed to do it. But go ahead first and give the audience like about a 30-second bio on you, buddy, so they know who you are, where you're coming from.
Sure. Happy to. Thanks for having me on the show. So I live in a Levine community. I've kind of grew up in a few places. I grew up in Prescott, Arizona. I've also grown up on the White Mountain Apache Indian Reservation. I'm a member of the St. Carlos Apache tribe. My dad was actually a minister, so moved around a little bit, but for the most part, grew up in northern Arizona, rural Arizona, and then settled in Phoenix into, post-college and, career years. So I've been involved in Republican politics. I'm conservative. I'm a fiscal, constitutional conservative. I work for a member of Congress at the same time, too. But in the last thing, I guess why I'm on here is because of what's happened as a school board member of Phoenix Union High School District. I was recently appointed, and
congratulations on that.
So
Way to go.
there it is.
Right. So you can go. I've posted it, and I think I posted it also on the Chips and Salsa Show New Mexico site. And Jeremiah can explain it better, but you really have to watch it. And before you got on the phone with us here, Jeremiah, Zeke and I were talking about how this almost is becoming a trend in different places. I explained to you that we had a problem here with the county commission, which is the same thing as the Board of Supervisors there in Maricopa. But kind of just give the story of what happened so our audience will know.
Certainly. So I was appointed back in June. There was a resignation on the Phoenix Union High School District Governing Board. There are 7 members of this board: the president, 2 members at large, the clerk, and then there's basically 5 members at large here. So total of 7. The clerk and president are also part of the ward too, so they play dual roles. So 7-member board. There was an opening in my ward, which happens to include like the South Phoenix Levine area, and we have a new, very conservative, MAGA-like America First county superintendent of schools. That is Shelley Boggs.
Wow.
The
Cool.
previous one was Steve Watson.
I'd love to hear that.
And because of the opening, the vacancy, I had actually expressed interest before running for school board. It's been something that I've been wanting to do for a while. So when the opening came up, I put my name in and was appointed. So I'm clearly in the minority, and not just a minority like
Ethnically.
as a tribal member, but a minority politically, or at least a minority in my views on this school board. So what happened this last school board meeting was basically every school board meeting, they start off, they do a pledge, they do a moment of silence, and then they do what's called a land acknowledgement. Now, as a tribal member, I find the land acknowledgements are basically what they call reparations in truth telling. And basically, it's just them saying, yes, we're on stolen land, and here's who we stole it from, and we're not going to do anything about it. So it's nothing more than woke virtue signaling.
Yeah.
It is absolutely ridiculous that we do these. It doesn't better the welfare of the students. It doesn't better, the educational academic performance in the school districts. It is merely there for most of the members to feel good about themselves for doing absolutely nothing and virtue signaling out, I guess, to their constituency or the people that vote for them. So.
It's basically
as a
gender
tribal member,
profiling.
I'm an enrolled tribal member of the St. Carlos Apache tribe. So they asked the board, between the superintendent and the president, they come up with the agenda every month, and they asked different members to read the land acknowledgement. So apparently it was my turn to read the land acknowledgement. I've read those, I've seen those things, and I was like, not going to happen here. So it was an easy no for me. I couldn't affirm something that I wholeheartedly did not believe in. And if you're wondering why I wholeheartedly do not believe in, it's because these ascribe victimhood status, especially if you're a tribal member. They ascribe victimhood status to Native Americans, like automatically, simply because of their race, their ethnicity, their bloodline. That's absolutely wrong. That's judging people by the color of the skin, by their affiliation over the content of their character. So these are absolutely egregious statements, if you ask me. So I could not affirm something like that. And so when I was asked, I basically, I didn't say yes, I didn't agree to it, I didn't say no either. I just basically was like, okay, thank you, and I'm gonna do my own thing. So come school board meeting night, last Thursday, this past Thursday, basically, I was asked to read the land acknowledgement, and I basically started off saying, it's my honor. I'm a tribal member. I will acknowledge. I will say tonight's acknowledgement, except it's going to be acknowledging God the Father, the Creator. So I obviously state in my own tongue. I speak Ewitam Shipta, which means God the Father in Apache, and then I begin to recite the Lord's Prayer, because He is the true. God is the ultimate creator of the universe, and I was like acknowledging our Creator. So immediately, I think I got in within like two sentences of the Lord's Prayer. I think I got up to trespasses. The parliamentarian, she acts as a parliamentarian. She is actually the general counsel for our board and for our district. She interrupts me, and she says something that caught me off guard a little bit, because I was not quite expecting this. I thought I was just going to be ruled out of order. But she immediately says, we cannot have a religious prayer said before the land acknowledgement. Okay. And I look at her, because she is not on the board. The president is the one that's supposed to give rulings, and the president is supposed to be giving the order. And I take her information. I continue to look at her, and I keep reading, because again, she is not the final say on this board. It is the president who gives. Is the president supposed to give a ruling on a governance board like this? So she motions to the president, and the president then rules me out of order. I immediately, and she says, I will read the land acknowledgement. With that, I say I appeal the decision of the chair. There's a little bit back and forth there. The parliamentarian, the council jumps in again and basically says, if you hear the president, she turns to the parliamentarian. She says, "What do I do now?" She has no clue what she's doing, by the way. So she's presiding over these meetings that we're having and really has no clue of Robert's Rules of Order. So the general counsel parliamentarian steps in again and says, which to my surprise basically says, she says I'm ruled out of order. Basically, I then go back and says I will appeal the decision of the chair. I mentioned that Robert's Rules of Order says I can appeal the decision of the chair and call for a vote. She then basically says we don't follow Robert's Rules of Order.
she
The
admitted
parliamentarian
it.
says that
She
to
admits it. That's
everyone
crazy.
on record. And that it's just a guide. It's just suggested. So the board president then takes that and overrules me, says I'm out of order. They move on. They read the land acknowledgement. If you watch the rest of the stream, or if you saw it live, I asked for other items. I asked for roll calls. I asked for a motion to adjourn. Those are all ruled out of order, and not even just out of order. It's a flippant no from the president. It's not even you're out of order. It's just a no, 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 no. Okay. So what I believe would happen there was the parliamentarian basically, because she says we don't follow Robert's Rules of Order here, the president can do whatever she wants. The president did whatever she wants, and she dismissed anything I was proposing. She used that as a cudgel to just basically hammer down any type of dissent and any kind of request. The rest of the meeting basically just ignored me and moved on with her agenda as she just continued to dictate what she wanted. So that's what happened. What you saw in the video was the very beginning part with prayer. It's hard to hear, but when I did call for an appeal, you do hear the clerk, I believe, she says, "Let's take it to a vote." So, I mean, it's really astounding because I don't have the votes on there. They would have had the numbers on there, but the president just basically dictated and did her thing. Didn't even call for a vote. Didn't follow Robert's Rules of Order, and we are supposed to by board policy. So there's that going on, and she just did what she wanted to do. So I mean, here I am. Not willing to read something, not willing to affirm something, and I get ruled out of order for offering the Lord's Prayer, and then basically they do what they want to do, and then they just dismiss me and tell me I can't do anything else. So that was the meeting.
Jeremiah, I just want to say that was awesome of you. And immediately, what I'm thinking, by you just doing that, you revealed everything about the rest of that board. The fact they weren't following the rules of Robert's Rules of Order. The president of the board wasn't doing her job either. And I'm so proud of you that you stood up. And I know you're going to do some further action, but before we get to that, it looks like Zeke's probably wanted to ask you a question.
No.
Certainly,
You're
thank
good?
you.
Okay, I just want to give you the chance.
I mean,
It doesn't surprise you, though, does it?
so for what it sounds like to me is that they got a new superintendent in there, and they're super MAGA, super America First, which we love, and so much so that they appointed you, who's another, America First, God-loving MAGA person, right? And you're kind of surrounded by snakes, for lack of a better way, and they just don't like God. Is that right? They just don't like God. As soon as you started reciting the prayer, they flipped on you completely. Is that right?
That is correct. I mean, I'm outnumbered on this board. When it comes politically, I mean, I'm one. There are six of them. They vote pretty much as a block the entire time. There's very little dissent on any votes there. I can barely. I even have a hard time. I probably wouldn't even get a motion most of the time. Even if I did have a friendly on there, we might get a motion, but someone might vote something against me because of I am MAGA. I am America First. I am looking out for our kids. I don't want woke indoctrination. So that is very upsetting. I also believe there's this element because I was appointed and not elected. and that the county superintendent, who is now a very America First and very MAGA, appointed me. There is
Love
some, I
it.
think, contention with them. When I gather, the feeling I gather from the rest of the board members is that they believe I don't belong there. Yet it's actually the people who put in our county superintendent, and it's the county superintendent who put me in there. So yes, the people did put me there. So whether they like it or not, I'm there. I'm there to stay. I serve the rest of this. I will serve the rest of this term through December of 2026, and I do plan on running for this ward. I haven't filed my statement yet, but I do plan on running, and I actually do plan on actually getting a whole slate because five seats are up. And I plan on getting a friend for every single one. So yes, our goal is to flip this entire board because it's needed. I mean, this is a board. This is one of the largest school districts in the entire nation. It handles about I think it's 25,000 students are within the district. It's a large district, and also with that comes a huge responsibility, a fiscal responsibility to the taxpayers within this district, to the people who are paying, to the parents. We really owe to this community to make sure that this school district is being running appropriately, that the students are actually learning, that they're actually improving where improvements are being made, and that this woke indoctrination, woke ideology that has been pushed for so long in this district comes to an end, because it really needs to stop.
So I'm very curious, Rick. I'm sorry. How did the superintendent get in there? Is it because they cleaned up the elections? I mean, that seems like it was kind of a hard thing to do to get a pro. I mean,
what happened to the last board member?
It sounds crazy that you got a MAGA superintendent. That's amazing.
Right. So the superintendent. So this is the county superintendent that I was appointed by. So in Arizona, the county has a school superintendent, and when there's a vacancy, it is their authority to appoint and fill those vacancies. So because of the last cycle, I would have never been appointed by the previous county school superintendent. Right. He would have never appointed me. He took at one look and says, "You're too MAGA," and never appointed me. So it was a fairly close race. I would say it was a close race, but the people put in this person to be in charge of the county school superintendent. And again, the authority of the county school superintendent is to fill vacancies. So what we are seeing now is in Phoenix Union, we had a vacancy, and which I was appointed. We have Phoenix Elementary School District, there's a vacancy there, and the person that just got recently appointed there is another America First MAGA person. Yeah. We have other vacancies that are coming up, and I believe the superintendent will be filling in these vacancies with other very America First, very conservatives on these boards. These boards have never really had these types of challenges before. They've never really had to if you ask me, answer to the community, answer to the public, and really not answer to the parents. The parents are the parents and the students. I mean, the parents and the students are the ones that are really trusting these board members to be doing what's right and to be stewards of these institutions. And frankly, in my opinion, they've done a horrible job. We see enrollment declining across the board in our public school system. We see enrollment just moving in the wrong direction. And it's really weird because I feel like I'm one of the few voices on this board that's saying hey, you guys if you want to attract more people, or you want to attract more students, we got to actually start teaching the right things. We got to start teaching history. We got to start teaching actual math. We can't be doing this nonsense of revisionist history. We can't be doing, woke ideology trainings and things like that. I mean, parents are voting with their feet, and they're voting. They're going to charter schools, they're homeschooling, they're doing private schools. They're choosing empowerment scholarship accounts, but just there's just kind of this I feel like it's almost like a mental block, but at the same time I realize a lot of these board members, they're owned by teachers unions, they're owned by the Arizona Education Association, they're owned by illegal immigrant groups like Poder and Aliento. They get their people on these boards because they want their people on these boards. This is kind of a long-term game for them, but we're challenging that, and I'm one of those, probably one of the first ones in there that has this viewpoint. I believe the superintendent actually told me that. So the superintendent is hey, you're probably going to be the only one on this board with a more conservative viewpoint, and probably one of the first ones they've had in a long, long time, if ever. So, but you know what? I'm up for the challenge. I believe it's where God wants me to be, and I believe it's where I'm going to be making a very impactful impact here.
Jeremiah, you are the guy for the job. Just, I mean, I have known you for such a long time, and all the work that you've done, you have good experience. You're a solid guy, and I am so glad that you are in there. So, what happened? Why did they have to appoint you? What happened to the other board member?
I don't know exactly everything that happened there. She just resigned. I don't know exactly why she resigned, but
Interesting.
I really never asked.
That's
I never really
okay.
asked. I mean, she resigned. There's an open spot, and I went for it. So once that open spot came available, I put my name in and asked, to be appointed, and went through the process, went through the interview, and got appointed. So it really is as simple as that. It's going to be a little bit more challenging this next cycle because I will have to go through an election. So again, I will have to put my name in, actually collect my signatures, petition, go through, a campaign process, and I know I will have a challenge. There is someone who's already filed,
Already.
on the other side. But I know it's coming. I know the unions will come out against me. I know probably other groups will try to put money against me. But my goal is to actually continue to serve on this board, and my goal is also to just work with the community, work with the parents. See that yes, I'm doing my best to make a difference. I don't have a majority. I can't swing these votes the other way in this board, but I want people to know that there is a voice. There is someone who's going to represent them. There is someone there who does want a very traditional classical view of how education should be, and I'm here to be that voice for them. I'm here to be their representation for them, and I want the community to know that.
And you're doing a good job. And just by the fact that you've already created a little firestorm, and I think you probably are going to have more firestorms, there. And that's what's going to get you some more exposure. I think there are a lot more supporters, but what happens, and it's happened here in our little community too, people just feel like, well, nobody's running, I don't really have a choice, and they don't even vote.
It's cheating. Everybody knows it's a cheat.
And there's cheating too, unfortunately.
Hardcore cheating here in New Mexico. Hardcore. Probably some of the worst in the nation, I would say.
So you could be a very good example for us. I also want to, I'm not sure when we'll get the show uploaded, but I understand that Monday morning you will be on the James T. Harris there on my old station, KFYI. So I'm excited about that. You're going to do a great job. What time is that going to be, Arizona time?
8 a.m. So I'm looking forward to it. So yes, I will be on the James T. Harris Show, the Conservative Circus. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. And if you're listening, you can actually go listen online from here in New Mexico. And that's, if it's 8 o'clock Arizona, that'll be 9 a.m. New Mexico time because we're an hour ahead. What kind of a message do you want to give to us? Because this is a problem not just unique to one place. It's countrywide. It's all across the nation. What kind of message would you give to other students, parents, school boards out there?
Well, I would first say get involved. That is probably the key here is get involved. Go to your school board meetings, watch it. If you're not sure, most of them live stream it. You can watch live stream. You can offer public comment. If you're a parent, you really need to be involved with your child's education. Get to know who the teachers are. Get to know who the principals are. Know what your kids are learning in the school. I harp a little bit. I don't have kids, but I'm invested in this because I want to see a better future in my community. I want kids to learn, traditional classical values and math and science and things that have made this country great. So you have to be involved though, and it takes more than just. It does take more than just voting. You have to be engaged. You have to know what's going on. We do need more people at school board meetings. We need more conservatives and people with a viewpoint, a more godly Christian perspective viewpoint on these boards too, because again, they are stewarding vast. They have vast influence. They're picking the curriculum. They're picking what your kids learn. They're picking who's teaching, who's around your kids. For 8 hours a day. And trust me, someone who's around your child 8 hours a day is going to have a significant influence on your kid at the end of the day. So I say it. I say it, get involved because that's really easy to do. But if you're currently on a board, and if you're like me, and you're probably the outlier, or you're the odd man out, you have to play within the rules. But you also have to be very. You have to know what your rules are. So that's really what the incident was here. Is I know the rules.
Shame
I
on
know
you.
Robert's Rules of Order, and I've gone through the policies, and they just were not. They weren't. They were doing inappropriate governance. That's really what it was about. They were ignoring the governance stated in our board policies, and because I will be actually filing ethics complaints against the board president and the general counsel there because they were doing inappropriate governance, and the council was doing inappropriate guidance to our board. So, and yes, it may sound like I'm just picking a fight. I'm really not. We need to have proper rules and proper order in these meetings because this is the public's. This is the public's. This is an institution. We are to be stewards of it, and we can't have proper business. So sometimes it's a little bit nitty gritty. Sometimes it can be the mundane, but if you're on a board like me, you're going to have to use all the tools available, and one of the tools available is making sure appropriate governance is happening on these boards.
And if they had just handled that correctly and let you continue on, and later they could have said, we need to see about if this happens next time. But they chose not to. So I think they created a bigger firestorm in that respect.
Correct. I even gave them the out
Right.
to say, I told them, here's Robert's Rules of Order. You can do it for a call. And like I said, I don't know if you can hear it on the video, but someone else says, let's have a vote because they know that the vote was going to go their way. But the
That's a violation of the Open
and
Meetings
if you
Act.
ask me, the council
big
really
time.
overstepped her bounds here. If you watch the video closely, you hear the board president. It sounds like she agrees, but the council actually steps in even further and kind of overrides it. And that to me is egregious.
That's illegal.
They're not an elected. They're not a board member. They don't have the steward that everyone else on that board has. They don't have the responsibility. That's an egregious misstep there by that council.
Did they not violate the Open Meetings Act by that?
Why would they violate open meetings?
Because the Open Meetings Act, you have to follow Robert's rules while you're in the open meeting.
Well, that's what he's.
That's
what he was claiming.
That's a huge.
It is, and the fact
infraction.
that she said we don't follow Robert's rules, point blank, we don't follow Robert's rules of order.
Said
It's
That's
merely
illegal.
a suggestion. I was just floored.
Wow.
I had to look back and watch it. And the more I watched it, I said, "This is worse than I initially thought."
Right.
It happened really fast, and when I went back and watched the video, I
They should all
realized
step
it was
down.
a lot worse than I thought initially because they really just said the president can do whatever she wants.
No, she can't.
And our board policies say absolutely not. So our board policies are very specific on certain things, and one is order of how a meeting is governed, and they were not following it at all. And the council, basically, the parliamentarian is also the council there, was basically. In my opinion, giving guidance that was contrary to board policy. So yes, I plan on fully filing ethics complaints going forward and making sure we do have appropriate and proper governance in our school board meeting going forward.
I am going to follow the story and leave it up to you to keep us posted so we can see what transpires.
Yeah, that's
of this.
awesome. Good
And
job,
I'm
man.
so proud of you, Jeremiah.
Great job.
Way to go, buddy.
Love you, man.
Thank you.
We're praying for you, man.
Anything else before we let you
We
go?
will pray for you.
We will pray for
We'll
you.
be praying.
Yes,
Lord's Prayer.
appreciate prayers. I don't know. I appreciate the prayers all in all, and I do appreciate everyone who is paying attention and who's been giving support. And to be frank, I haven't really received any negative from what I gather. A lot of people have been saying, "Hey, we're praying for you. We're very happy. We're very proud of you for doing the Lord's Prayer." I'm like, it was an easy decision for me at the time. Because I'm gonna say Lord's Prayer, the Lord's Prayer. And you know what, people understand what's going on. I think what really happened here was this exposes everything. That video just exposes, as you mentioned, Alice. This video just exposes what's going on in that board, and it wasn't right. So, but people need to know what's going on. So again, if you're on these boards or you're trying to fight something like this, you do have to do some of this work. You have to expose it. You have to let others know what's going on, because you can't fight it by yourself. You need others to help you with you.
Well said. Okay, Jeremiah, thank you so much again. You take care of yourself. Have a great weekend, and I'll be listening
Thank
to
you.
James T. Show
Pleasure.
Monday morning.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Wow. You were on a board
I was on Alma de Arte charter school board, and we did have a strong, conservative board. We had probably the strongest conservative school board in the state. Really, I mean, it was
That's true.
me, Kim Skaggs, Rochelle Swafford, her husband Martin Swafford. I mean, we're all hardcore Republicans, and we got hammered, guys, for a very long time. The public was just so upset that we actually had the teachers start giving attendance. They were so upset that we wanted to, have events where kids were actually learning trades and useful things, and we wanted to bring community together. They really just didn't like that, and so we got a lot of flack. It's all done now. That school's doing great. I'm not part of that board anymore, but man, these school boards, a lot of attention goes to these children, guys. Like, you may not be paying attention to anything but your own kid, but I'll tell you what, your own kid is, like he said, in front of people that you may not even like for a long period of time, and I don't know what it is, but they really
A lot of influence there.
they protect those school boards like crazy here in Las Cruces, and they really don't like outsiders coming in. I've had my days with the school board, and it's been very intense and it's been gnarly. I'll say it's been super gnarly. They don't like my color skin. This is an email. We did IPRA, and they don't. I'm not the right kind of Hispanic to them. All right.
Wow.
So their Marxism is thick in the school board. So I'm so happy he's there. I'm so happy that we're learning together, and I'm sure it's a nationwide thing because the same people who control the Democrats over there are probably the same ones who control the Democrats over here. These guys all play by the same rules. It's sell out the country, destroy a local community for personal gain, and that's all over. I can't wait till this is all over because I'm so sick of these guys destroying our children's lives and just wasting our freaking tax dollars on frivolous boondoggles.
Very well said. And just to kind of really drive the point home when he says he's a MAGA guy, when I was still living in Arizona, I think it was around Christmas time or something, and he went into a store and he had a MAGA hat on. He had a MAGA hat or a MAGA shirt, I can't remember. It was something that designated him. Well, the gal, whatever retail store he was in, came up and was giving him lip for that, giving him a hassle. So Jeremiah recorded this. I gotta see if I can find that. I should have asked him about that because she was losing it, and the gal worked at the store there. But anyways, I say that story because Jeremiah is really, I think God kind of chose him special to do this, really. And we're just going to keep tabs on it, and we had to talk to him. So I really appreciate that he came on.
Yeah, that was super cool. That was a really good interview. You always have really good guests that come on. That's awesome.
Oh, it's good. And we should go ahead and say there are two school board candidates that I really like. One of them is my good friend Christina Moore. I think she's district number 2. And we have Natalie Chadbourne.
Natalie Chadbourne, she's awesome as well. Owner of Flowerland. Great businesswoman, accountant. She's just an awesome person. Great grandmother, great mother, great wife. Her husband's amazing too. They really get along with her husband very well. It's just a good, solid. You don't meet solid, good people like that too often.
It's hard.
It's so
You're
hard.
right.
So it's just a refreshing family overall. She's business. She's a God-fearing woman. Her husband's a God-fearing man. Her son's a hard. I mean, it's just look. These are the kind of people that we need in these offices. Just real, wholesome, down-to-earth people. How hard is it to get? Because you go talk to these commies. I can't think of another way to say it. We're infiltrated. So these far left people, I'll say that, and they, you can't even talk to them. They don't really have any sense to them, and they just look. I'm obviously frustrated because this city has so much potential, and
A lot of potential.
and our kids, man, like. So I'm glad that she's running, Christina Moore. I have yet to meet her yet.
Oh, you still haven't met her?
Not met her
Okay, you'll
yet.
meet her Monday maybe at the
I'd love to meet her.
You're going to love her.
I'd love to meet her.
She's a great candidate, and I can't wait for you to meet her.
And it's
We'll
school-
have all the candidates on
The
here.
school boards are so crazy. Like we had Julia Reese run for school board not too long ago, and this guy randomly, you never seen him before in our lives,
Never.
jumps in the race, steals the votes, she loses, and Julia, she's running for state representative now, thank God. But she should have been a shoo-in for that school board
She
position.
only lost by like 120 votes or something like
And
that.
these Republicans, guys, you can't fully just because you're a Republican doesn't mean that you're MAGA. It doesn't mean you're America first. It just doesn't. I mean, look at Bill Barr. Look at Bill Barr. We were just talking about how he's under investigation now, and he was just selling us out left and right. And they sold us on Bill. Remember when they sold us on Bill Barr for a little bit? I was
yeah,
sold on
thought
Bill
he was
Barr
a
for a
great
little
guy.
bit.
He
Yeah.
was attorney general or something.
Right?
Great guy,
Yeah, he was the AG, and I was like, okay, he's gonna get in there. He's gonna get it done. Of course, he didn't do a damn thing. But when they first got him in there, they sold him on me. They did a great job branding him.
Sure.
To be like this guy who's going to go over there and hunt the deep state and this and that. Turns out he was the deep state. He is the deep state.
Or maybe, you know what? I'm willing to give him a little bit and say maybe he turned deep state. I don't know.
Well, he's innocent
for
until proven
sure,
guilty.
But
Well, you got to look at the
either
books.
way, there's a lot of evidence right now.
Well, Did you ever look at the books that his dad wrote in the 80s?
Bill Barr's dad wrote?
Bill Barr's dad wrote some really
What did he
interesting
write?
books in the 80s.
What was, you remember a title?
I don't
Teasing
know
our
the
audience here.
title, but the thesis was basically that there was alien reptiles that were raping children to death on a prison planet. Yeah.
That wasn't like a fiction story?
Well, it's fiction,
He-
but I mean, that's what
He didn't write it as fiction, it sounds like.
Well, he wrote it. He wrote it, and it was released in the 80s, and it was about lizard people raping children to death. I got to edit that word out, but that's really what Bill Barr. That's on record. Bill Barr's father was writing this stuff in the 80s, and Bill Barr was, he was, I think, a high-level CIA guy in his 30s when he was like 30 years old. So this guy has probably been deep state for a long time.
Busy guy. Very
So,
busy guy.
hey, you know what, guys? We got to start having these conversations. I'll be editing some of that stuff out, but overall, get ready, buckle your seatbelt, because we got aliens coming November 1st. Have you seen that yet?
I did. I just saw that
Yeah.
story, and it was specific, November 21st.
Yeah, that's when
Was it Nino Rodriguez is where he saw it?
Nino was out there,
Yeah.
but the Democrats are hitting me up about that on Facebook. Some Democrat, hey, did you hear about this? It's crazy. I got a lot of people, Democrats, reaching out to me now on Facebook. It's pretty crazy. I throw Trump under the bus one time, and everybody loves that now. But and it's like, look, we'll get into that as it comes. But you see how things are just unfolding, so fast. It's like,
So
man,
much.
it's so hard to keep up, right?
Buckle up is the right word to use.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
anyway,
You should
I
anyway.
see our friend Mr. Gabe Vasquez there. What's he got? What's he got going on?
Well, our good old Pinon Post, and kudos to them because they follow all the New Mexico stories. They do a good job.
They do.
So Vasquez floats, here's a headline, Vasquez floats wild conspiracies, bashes oil and gas to open borders group. He met in front of do you hear a little whistle? Is that just me? I'm not sure what that is if it comes out there. There were like about a dozen
what's going
people
on over there?
that he smoked. Well, I don't know if Pinon Post knows about these little pictures.
ads, okay.
Keep you. So when I printed it out, unfortunately, those
It's a
came out.
girl,
Yeah.
in her tennis skirt. That's
You
rough.
can see the,
Anyway,
yeah.
Pinon Post, good
I
flavor there.
should have held it like this.
Some
That way
good
I wouldn't
flavor there.
distract you.
Distract me a little bit.
So about 24 people, and so he was speaking to this crowd of 24 people,
Okay, 2 dozen
organized
people.
by the Open Borders Group. I never heard of this group before. Maybe you have. Somos un pueblo unido. Have you heard of them?
No clue.
Okay. Vasquez reintroduced
Okay.
a bill that would punish large oil and gas companies with yet another tax, this time to bankroll a special fund for worker health care costs supposedly caused by methane exposure and low air quality. These claims, popular with radical environmentalists, remain unproven by legitimate science and have been widely challenged by experts. So the legislation, it's going to target companies that are making more than $50 million a year. Surprise, surprise. The left, if the money's there, man, they got to go after it. They got to go after it.
They got to get their grubby little hands on it, don't they?
So this group, Somos un Pueblo Unido, a group that advocates for harboring illegal immigrants and opposes immigration enforcement at
great.
every turn.
Wonderful.
So he blasted deportation policies and claimed that removing illegal immigrants from the oil and gas workforce would harm the economy. I mean, it's very predictable, don't you think?
Yeah, I
He's
mean, that's
doing
probably
this.
one of his major donors. And the Democrats are having a really hard time raising money right now. The hardest time ever.
Yeah.
And look, if Texas gets rid of those congressional seats, 10 of them, he's done. It's over. The Democrat Party's over right there pretty quick before the midterms. Because how are they going to make up 10 freaking seats?
Right.
They can't.
We have, 3?
10 seats that
constables
just
here
got
in New Mexico?
gerrymandered in the Republicans' favor. It's over, guys. The Democrat Party is done. You should have listened to me beginning of the year. I said to get out of the party then, get out now. You still got maybe a week or two.
It's still not too late. And at least if you're not ready to be a Republican, okay, that's fine.
Fine, go independent.
An independent. You can do it.
Fine. I've been talking to a lot of independents lately, actually.
Have you?
Well, I mean, look, they don't really know. I kind of tell them, well, you're independent. There's more of you than really, almost any other party at this point. A lot of people are going independent, and, they're excited to hear that. But, I think it's going to be where they're trying to set it up is to have the Elon America First Party, Elon's America Party.
Yeah, how is that going? I haven't
It's
heard
going
much about
horribly,
that.
but I think they're just setting it up for later, so it can be the Republicans and the America Party, and
So the Democrats will have somewhere to go, maybe?
well, the Democrats are going to probably stay independent, and then the America Party is going to probably battle it out to see who wins there. But the Democrat Party as a whole will be gone. They're actually planning on getting rid of it in totality. Like it's done. It's over. The Democrat Party has been engaged in, and I get it. you know, if you give you the benefit of the doubt, you don't understand the evil and the magnitude of it as a Democrat, but you're gonna know now. You're gonna know soon. You know, you can't. Look, you started out with William Bedford Forrest, you know, the freaking founder of the KKK. That's how the Democrat Party started, was on him, on his back. The leader of the KKK.
And the Democrats, the far left Democrats especially, have done such a good job about pushing the, I want to say this correctly, but I think Democrats, like my parents were Democrats, you know, FDR Democrats, because FDR put people back to work. And they have done recently such a good job in still claiming that they are a working class party. But that's not anymore.
not the
That's
case.
out in the open now.
Yeah, that's gone.
There's too many things that have happened. An open border. I mean, just on that alone.
open border.
The big open border.
And the
here
transgender
comes
stuff.
President Trump and just, boom, within a month or so, closes the border basically. I mean, just on that alone and all the damage that has done to our country, I don't know how you can remain in that party.
It's over.
Very difficult.
Look, you made some really good points. The open border, that's an 80-20 issue. 80% of us want that border secure. The transgender stuff, another 80-20 issue. We don't like that kind of stuff, especially being pushed on the kids. You know, we've talked about that. Libertarian, you're 18-year-old, you want to hurt yourself while you want your privacy. You're cool. Pushing on the kids, we cannot stand that, and America cannot stand that. But there the Democrats go, still trying to sit on the 20% side of these 80-20 situations, particularly with the transgender stuff. That's all their whole talking point is. Still, even after all the hammering that they have incurred this year, that's all that they care about. That Democrat Party is done, guys. And what you're seeing right now here in Las Cruces is just the remains of it, the
They
shell of
went
it.
too far. Now, I don't know if you remember the song, She's Come Undone. She's come undone. And what it is,
Look at
they
that
just
voice.
went too far, man. They just went too far.
Yeah,
they
too
didn't
far.
know what they were headed for. And when they found what they were headed for, it was too late. Those are the exact lyrics, my boomer friends. And that
perfect.
explains the Democrat Party.
That's perfect.
Big time, don't you think?
I agree with that. That was very well put. Look, and they don't know how to get themselves out. They could be shifting to the middle a little bit, get a little centrist.
Something, right?
Yeah, meet us halfway on these 80-20 issues, but no, they're tripling down on this stuff.
So I have to mention.
Quadrupling down.
So at CCIA last Thursday night, that's a coalition of conservatives in action. We had two great speakers, really good speakers. We had Mary White, who's with the Downwinders, and I invite you to go to their site, Coalitions of Conservative in Action, on Facebook and their webpage. And they live streamed, the whole thing. The other guest, though, was Sarah Silva. Now, Sarah Silva, is a Democrat, and she actually beat our good friend Liz Winterrode by 150 votes or something like that. So it was very interesting. We were all very nice to her.
I don't believe that for a second.
And, you know, some of the things that she talked about, clearly we knew that she was on the left and Democrat side. But it did seem to me a little bit, and she brought, 4 or 5 friends with her, probably to make sure we behaved. I don't know. But we did. We really did. Because most of us in that group are Republicans, conservatives, but all parties are welcome. It was clear to me that she was really trying to be move a little bit more to the center. And that's probably a political save for her. Now, she's in there for, 2 years is the term?
Yeah, it's 2 years.
She'll be there. And I held back. I was a nice girl because I wanted to ask some pretty hardcore questions. But I did have a conversation with her about lobbying beforehand. And I give her points for going. And Juan says, anybody is welcome to come, especially our elected officials, because we got to. By the way, I should announce, they're not having a meeting this Thursday. Typically, they meet at 6 o'clock at the Kitchen Craft by Rudy's Barbecue. But upcoming, in the next meeting, did you know who's going to come? District Attorney Macias is going to be a guest there.
Great.
So, it's a good time to go and ask questions. I'm going to be a little bit more, I don't know if hardcore is the right word.
I'm over even dealing with these people. Like, I'm just ready to freaking get some good people in office at this point. I don't have nothing to say to these people.
And we had some people, I don't want to think, we had some good questions. Like I say, watch the live stream, and then you can tell me what you think.
I'd like to see what he thinks about Obama getting, charged with treason. What does he feel
good
about?
question.
How does he feel about that? What is he going to be doing to fight white collar crime and corruption in our own community? Because if it's at the top there, it should be here. And he's getting tried for treason for stealing the 2020 election. What are we doing to fix the elections here in Doña Ana County? Those are the kind of questions I would ask him.
Now, you probably know this immediately at the top of my head. I don't. But Joe Cano, the judge,
Yeah.
would he be prosecuting him, his office? Do you know how that works?
No, it's federal. It's
Oh,
way
it's-
beyond.
oh,
Yeah,
it's
way
federal.
Yeah, it's a U.S.
Not
attorney.
even state,
The
it's
U.S.
federal.
attorney would be prosecuting
Oh,
him.
okay, so he really wouldn't have anything to do
Or
with
U.S.
that.
attorney would be going after him.
I would like to ask him if he knew the guy. He
Of
probably
course
does.
he knew him. Of course he knew him. He'd probably start freaking tightening his tie, freaking
And
looking like Rodney Dangerfield over here. Like,
what kind of an opinion? He'd probably say, well, I can't really do that because I'm the DA, which, that would be his out, I would think.
I've seen him reach it, because I'll give this to Fernando Macias. I've met the guy. I have a lot of respect for him. He has achieved a lot. He's been around for a long time. He's a smart guy, and I've seen him reach across the aisle. I've seen him come to Republican meetings. I've seen him reach out to Republicans personally. I know Republicans that recently talked to him as of late, actually. And so, look,
Give him points for that.
that's cool, because there's a lot of Democrats who won't do that at all.
True.
So, especially county commissioners, they do not like Republicans. Period. It's just obvious. You can feel it when you walk in the room. And if you do, and I'm wrong, tell me. I don't feel the love, guys. I don't feel the love. You're not giving me any hugs or handshakes. I'll tell you that.
Well, and I do have to say something about that. So, as I mentioned,
Oh yeah, Susan.
my commissioner,
Yeah.
Susana Chaparro, and she has given me permission to call her Susie, which was very nice. I called her office because she was the only one who supported prayer. And I left a voicemail saying, basically, I know we're usually not on the same side of things, but in this case, I gave her points. I thought it was great that she did that, and she
And
represented
I hear
me
she's
at that
cool.
point.
I hear she's cool.
Well, bless her heart, she called a couple of days afterwards or something, and this was after hours, and we were on the phone for 25 minutes. She thanked me. She said I made her day, and we had a really nice conversation. Turns out we're both Bulldogs and Aggies, like you are too. And
I'm
we had,
a Knight and an Aggie.
and then she.
Oñate Knight.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Why did I want to make you a Bulldog? I'm sorry.
You always want to make
I
me a
was
bulldog.
changing you to Bulldog
I'm an Oñate Knight.
because you're so cool. No, I'm teasing. But you are not the Knight. Ta-da! And so
right.
they were going to have a community meeting up in Butterfield. And so I did go, and it was good meetings. It was her and Commissioner Reynolds. And it was very interesting. I just make this one point. One of the things that we're going to be voting on also is the GO bond, GO
Those always go
bond,
through.
right? And they always pass. They always pass. And one of the things that's on that list there, and by the way, you can go on their website.
Go
and you
bond
can
means
fill out-
boondoggle.
you can fill out a survey about what you think the money should go for because it's not totally designated. But one of the things that they really seemed to be talking a lot about was building some kind of a venue out by the fairgrounds. The interesting thing to me,
No.
where we were there at Butterfield, as you know, it's very rural, right? And the people were there. It was at the community
went?
center. I went to, and I was there.
Wow.
And I made the point that, I don't mind paying my taxes, but I want them to be appropriately spent. And the people in there, they wanted to talk about, of course, their local needs, roads,
who gives a crap about
flooding,
this other stuff going
things
on
like
here?
that,
Yeah.
the community center. And I mean, we could have even a whole show about that. And I've invited her to come on the show as well. But I just wanted to tell you that because she did reach out to me and we had a good conversation. And now I know her and I went and got to meet her. And I think I'd met Commissioner Reynolds before, but I reintroduced myself again. So I'll give them points for that. I really will.
Yeah, and Counselor Becky Graham is, we communicated on some stuff recently too. She's very cordial, very cool. We've had lunch. We've had lunch before too. We had a really long. She's a very smart woman, and she's married. Definitely respect her husband as well. He's a firefighter, and look, she's got a great background. We don't agree on certain philosophical things, but she has enough respect to where we can communicate and we can get things done. And we just worked together on a really awesome project. So I want to extend that to other Democrats in the future because I will be working in the community as I always will. I'll never stop working in the community. I might take a break from politics, but I'll be working in the community regardless. And I really pride myself in being able
You're
to
not going to run for governor?
No, I might be stepping away from I'll probably be stepping away from politics for a while here soon. But it's cool. I'll still be involved with the community. And my point is that I enjoy actually reaching across the aisle and working with Democrats when I'm happy to talk to anybody. It's them that usually runs for me like I'm the freaking Freddy Krueger or something. So shout out to Becky Graham, shout out to Susan Chaparro. Those two are probably the two coolest elected Democrats that I know of right now. I can't think of any other ones that are cooler.
I mean, we give them props.
I mean, our mayor, I've had good conversations with him. I had good conversations with a lot of politicians that are like, I have. But what it boils down to me, where I get frustrated, is what they're voting on and the policies and the state of our community, the crime. We need to fix the crime, the economy. We need to revitalize the city. You drive around downtown Las Cruces, it's a mess. It's a freaking mess. And I see homeless people everywhere. I see needles everywhere. I'm tired of seeing that stuff.
No, it doesn't have to be that way. This could be such a beautiful, thriving city. We need to make, and it's Las Cruces, it's the crosses. We could make this place thrive again. Okay, we're coming. Man, this was a fast hour, especially with Jeremiah. It's good.
No, that was a very interesting topic. Mr. Vasquez, I wouldn't get too comfortable seeing him. He ain't gonna be around much longer, in my opinion. I just don't think he's gonna be around much longer. I mean,
Well-
his policies are just absolutely abhorrent.
He's working it hard. I think he realizes what he's up against. He's trying to climb this hill.
It's there's no way he's getting over the hill. He's got to go put on a MAGA hat if he's gonna want to do that. And I don't see him doing that.
Man, I do want to ask one more thing, though, and this is on the national level. So Trump says we've got to redo the census, okay? And I posted that
love that.
story. And what's interesting, so basically, it's like if you're actually a citizen, you should be counted. But if you are illegally here, here's the question. Some people were saying, well, and here's what I'm thinking. We still should count them, but the actual census for citizens, that's a priority. They are citizens. Because if you are here illegally, first of all, you shouldn't be here, right?
Dude, have you
shouldn't
seen
even be
how
here.
bad they treat you in other countries? If I was to go to freaking the UAE and just show up and just start freaking hanging out with them, they would freaking drive their elbows in my face and my neck and throw me in jail for 2 months. They just did it to somebody recently.
Yeah.
Every other country that you go to, and if you're there illegally, you get freaking pounded. So these guys over here are getting upset because we're actually giving them a trial. We're giving them well beyond any other country would give them. It just upsets me that people get, they're taking away these illegal immigrants. I'm like, bro, you've not traveled the world. The rest of the world is vicious, and we're being super nice.
Yeah, probably the nicest, most civil deportation process. ever.
It has
know?
to be. I've seen these other countries. They are sometimes you just might not even leave. Like if you go to Mexico and they pull you over and somehow you end up in jail because, and this has happened
That's
to me.
too bad.
I've had to give up some jewelry to get out of
I
yeah.
was going to say, give them mordida.
Yeah, they took one of my friend's state championship football rings just so we had to go to jail in Mexico. Because a lot of times how are they going to get you out? They'll hit your family up for money. You know what I mean? And that's how these other countries work. But we come around here and people are all sad because we're actually giving them a plane ticket home. And they were lied to. These illegal immigrants were lied to. It's
Yes.
not fair.
Yes.
We should have been. We want people to come here. We want them to come the right way. So I'm done yelling, Ellis.
And that's good. I had to bring that up because, that's a big story about the census.
Yeah, it's going to
And
change
that's going to
everything.
change a lot of things.
Especially here in New Mexico. It's going to change everything.
Absolutely. Okay, what did we not mention? Anything before we get going?
Bill Barr's getting hammered. Got to watch out for the Republicans. There's a lot of Republicans that ain't MAGA, and we get that. That's okay. You don't have to be MAGA, but if you're not serving the collective conscious good, then we're gonna have to call you out on that. Just like Trump, you trying to go back on the Epstein stuff. I called him out. I got a lot of flack
Right.
for it, but I earned a lot of respect from a lot of people too. Because I'm not in a cult. If he's screwing up, I'm gonna call him out.
As Republicans, we do. And that's one thing, that's a difference too. We're not afraid to call out our own party.
No.
I remember working at the radio station, and our program director at that time, he was conservative, Republican, but I was a little more hardcore than him. And I can't remember who the politician was that might have been in trouble. And comes, well, you're a guy. I said, listen, if they did wrong, broke the law, whatever, they go down too. I don't care.
Yeah, get rid of
Doesn't
him.
matter.
One actual last interesting point. Steve Bannon did announce he's running for president in 2028.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, he announced yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, Friday. He announced he's running for president, but he ended his speech with Trump 2028.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. No.
Wow.
So
much.
so
to
I
watch.
think they're gonna get Trump that third term. They're really focusing on that,
Wow.
and they have no shame in that because things are going so dang good with the economy right now. They're not even talking about it. And once we drop the interest rates, it's going to be even crazier. We won't really feel the impact of the $16 trillion that he's raised. He's probably going to raise more between this time next year. Mm-hmm. But if we can get the interest rates to go down lower, which I refuse to do for no reason, we would start feeling the benefits of it now. And then when that kind of fades out, we would start getting the benefits of all the manufacturing. Apple's coming here spending $600 million, $600 million on glass on iPhone.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
In Kentucky, right, or Kansas. So all these badass manufacturing jobs are coming here to America. $16 trillion is going to get pumped right into our dang country. I love to even say that. You guys understand? $16 trillion pumped into our economy. It's going to be like something we've never seen before.
And remember, our debt's about, 37 trillion. So that's
So it's half the
almost
debt
half
right
that.
there,
That's-
gone.
I mean, not that that's going to wipe that out.
There's another 30
immediately, but
trillion in oil in Anwar, in Alaska. So we're good, guys.
More success, more money brings more money and keeps America working. And I just want to keep this message going because the last time we had one, we want you guys to be warriors, don't worry. You know, people fret and worry about this and, oh, I don't even pay attention to politics and stuff. And I get it. It's very stressful, and you do have to take a break from it. We have to take a break from it, believe it or not.
Yeah, we just did
We
take a little
really
break
do.
actually. is what
Yeah.
it was.
But
And I
don't
feel
be
better.
a worrier. Be a warrior because, you know, whatever it is that you do, and we're not saying violence, okay? We have to put the disclaimer. We're not saying take up arms and do awful stuff. No. But there is so much you can do and fight for your country to keep it free and good and safe for your children and future grandchildren. I don't have kids, okay? But I have a lot of nephews and nieces and family, and we owe it. We owe it to the people before us and the people that come after us.
I'll tell you what, God hates cowards. I know that for a fact. And so you don't want to be on that side of things, guys. Get up and do something. Get up and get involved, go vote, do something because, hey, we're going to be confronted with some hardcore stuff in the near future. The best thing we can do is come together and do what's right. Stick up for God. You know, you can articulate that however you want, but God is in the Declaration of Independence. Four
That's right.
times. That's what made this country. That's what our laws are based off of. It's from the King James Bible. It's common law, British common law. This is who we are as a country. We have morals. We have principles. We love God. We love our community. We love freedom. We love liberty. And that's all been taken away from us over the years, especially on the city level. Dang, they really just step on our constitutional rights around here. And it's unbelievable.
If you can, get involved at your local community level because that will make a
peacefully.
difference and it's
Peacefully.
right there with you.
Praying.
And pray for justice. And that's what, in the end, that's what we're after. Because if you have justice, that means you've got the rule of law, and God wants you to fight for that. He really does. He wants you to work towards that.
Well, I'm fired up right now. So
Just a little bit, aren't
just
we?
because it's hot. But I am learning all this stuff that's coming out against these horrible people that have betrayed our country, and we're surrounded by it. And all it does is make me want to pray harder, get better as a human being, and fight for the children. That's what it really wants me to do, and that's what I'm going to do. So thank you guys for listening. Took a little break. We now took a little bit of break. We got a lot going on, and now we're back. We're hopefully be getting some guests on soon here. We just had a guest today, which is great.
Thank you, Chips. And one more thing I have to mention.
Another thing.
Just one more little quick thing. My
Make it 3 things.
grandnephew, Zachary, is going to have his 16th birthday coming up.
16.
Yeah, coming up. And I just got it because in the show in Arizona,
What is he, tall?
oh yeah, he's a tall guy.
You gotta
And
keep
he's
that guy-
he's the baseball player.
You got to keep that guy away from the girls.
Baseball player, yeah, good looking too. But when we first started doing the show, David Beasley, his dad, recorded a little commercial for us. And he just had a squeaky little voice. And he goes, I love chips and salsa. Can I listen too? And
Sorry
it's
to-
so adorable and cute. And now, of course, he's a man now, just 16.
Full
So
of
happy
testosterone.
birthday. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday, man.
Zachary.
Happy birthday,
Way to
dude.
go, dude.
Keep up the good work. Play that music, play that baseball. You're going to be a hero. And you know what? We just love you guys. We love this community. We love doing this. We're going to keep doing this for you guys. You guys have yourselves a Merry Christmas. We'll see you soon, all right?
And time for a prayer.
Oh, that's
You
right,
do
the
so
prayer.
well.
Yeah. Lord Jesus, again, thank you so much for bringing us together, for bringing these amazing guests on the show so we can share with the community what's really going on at these school boards and just in our community in general. And Lord, we just pray that you continue to guide us through these tumultuous times. Things are getting crazy, Lord, and all we can really do is just pray for your guidance and for your protection so we can do this for you, Lord, and for the children. And again, thank you for all of the blessings that you have afforded us and all of our listeners, Lord. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Amen. As always, well said. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Else.
Chipsters.
Later, guys.
Appreciate it. See you the next time.
Later.
The Chips and Salsa Show, New Mexico.
I think we got most of it.
I hope so. That's good. Even more.
We got a lot of it.
Good. We went kind of long, I think, too, but that's okay.
Yeah. It goes out at 35 minutes for some reason. I'll still upload it. But it's going out at 35 minutes. I have no idea
Really?
why.
Well, that's Jeremiah.
Yeah.
So we got his voice. That's good.
Well, we got, we have it recording, so.
Right on.
Yeah, I gotta have that camera to back us up.
Yeah, David and I are going to try to have lunch this week and get that stuff ordered too. You want this?
Yeah. It shuts off on the first 35 minutes. I have no idea why.
So we only got the first 35?
Well, we have the sound of it, so I can.
Oh, okay,
I'll
so
put
you can do
the
the sound.
Yeah, I'll do the whole
That's
show. But it does it every single time. It only gives us 35 minutes. I have no clue why. I'm just befuddled by it. I deleted all kinds of memory. We have plenty of memory on there.
And you got, wow.
I have no no idea why it does that, but it's okay. The first 35 minutes is good. Okay, and we have super fast internet over there too, because that guy's a big gamer.
Oh, that's